Hello and welcome to the new video lecture of Standard 10 Science. So today I will discuss about topic number 14.3.2, which is energy from the sea. Okay, so there are many types of energy we can get from the ocean. So first energy is tidal energy. Due to the gravitational pull of the moon on the spinning earth, the level of water in the sea rises and falls. If you live near the sea or ever travel to some place near the sea, try and observe how the sea level changes during the day. This phenomenon is called high and low tides, and the difference in sea levels gives us tidal energy. I think you all have must seen tides in different types of oceans. Okay, so the tidal energy is harnessed by constructing a dam across a narrow opening to the sea. A turbine fixed at the opening of the dam converts tidal energy to electrical energy. As you can guess, the locations where such dams can be built are limited. Okay, as we have seen earlier that these dams cannot be constructed anywhere, there are some limited options for where we can construct this type of dams. So what we have to do, we have to use the force of that water and we connect turbine to that water. So when that force will come, turbine will rotate, and due to the dynamo it will convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. Second energy is wave energy. Similarly, the kinetic energy possessed by huge waves near the seashore can be trapped in a similar manner to generate electricity. The waves are generated by strong winds blowing across the sea. Wave energy would be viable proposition only where waves are very strong. A wide variety of devices have been developed to trap wave energy for rotation of turbine and production of electricity. See, waves are constantly come, but tide are very frequently come. Okay, so by waves, same way by the pressure of water, we will rotate turbine and we will convert that mechanical energy into electrical energy. Third is ocean thermal energy. Okay, so the water at the surface of the sea or ocean is heated by the sun, while the water is deeper while the water in the surface of the sea or ocean is heated by the sun, while the water in deeper sections is relatively cold. This difference in temperature is exploited to obtain energy in ocean thermal energy conversion plants. These plants can operate if the temperature difference between the water at the surface and the water at depths up to 2 km is 20 Kelvin or 20 degrees Celsius or more. The warm surface water is used to boil a volatile liquid like ammonia. The vapors of the liquid are then used to run the turbine of generator. The cold water from the depth of the ocean is pumped up and condensed vapor again to liquid. So the energy potential from the sea, the tidal energy, wave energy and ocean thermal energy is quite large, but efficient commercial exploitation is very difficult. So in ocean thermal energy what happen? Suppose there is one sea level. Okay, here due to sun energy it will be hot water and here it will be cold water. So this depth is around 2 kilometer and difference is between 20 degrees Celsius. So what we will do, we will pump up this hot water, convert it into steam, and then we will run turbine, and again this steam we will throw it in the ocean. So it will again mix with water and this rotate. So this type of thing will happen in the ocean. So this is called ocean thermal energy. Next is geothermal energy. As you have see the term geo means soil, thermal means heat. The heat inside the soil crust, they will be used to generate energy. Ultimately what we will get steam or heat energy from that region, and by that heat we will run turbines. Due to geological changes, molten rocks formed in the deeper hot regions of Earth's crust are pushed upward and trapped in certain regions called hotspots. When underground water comes in contact with the hotspot, steam is generated. Sometimes hot water from that region finds outlets at the surface. Such outlets are known as hot springs. The steam trapped in rocks is routed throughout a pipe to a turbine and used to generate electricity. The cost of production would not much, but there are very few commercially viable sites where such energy can be exploited. There are number of power plants based on geothermal energy operational in New Zealand and United States of America. So what we have to do, you see that there are groundwater, okay, and there are certain hotspots in our earth crust. So when this groundwater will come in contact with that hotspot, then it will convert into spring or steam type thing. So if we collect that steam or springs, then by using that we can run a pipe to turbine and use to generate electricity from this steam. Okay, it is not very costly process, but their finding their location is very difficult because they are below the earth, so it's very difficult. Okay, next and most important energy is nuclear energy. How is nuclear energy generated? In a process called nuclear fission, the nucleus of a heavy atom such as uranium, plutonium, or thorium, when bombarded with low energy neutrons, can be split apart into lighter nuclei. When this is done, a tremendous amount of energy is released. If the mass of the original nucleus is just a little more than the sum of the masses of the individual products, the fission of an atom of uranium, for example, produces 10 million times the energy produced by the combustion of an atom of carbon from coal. In a nuclear reactor designed for electric power generation, such nuclear fuel can be part of a self-sustaining fission chain reaction that releases energy at a controlled rate. The released energy can be used to produce steam and further generate electricity. For example, this is one nuclear reactor. These are uranium. So you will throw small amount of, yes, when bombarded with low energy neutrons, okay, so you will bombard neutrons here. So what these neutrons will do, these neutrons will cut this uranium into small particles. It will converted, again they will collide and they will again converted in small pieces. Okay, so this is very exothermic process. They will release lots of heat energy during this conversion explosion. So we can use this energy, it will be heat produced inside this chamber, and we are collecting this steam and heat, and again we can produce electricity from generator. Okay, so this energy can be used to produce steam. We will use this energy to boil the water, and from water that steam will be generated, and from steam we can generate electricity by using generator. The major hazard of nuclear power generation is the storage and disposal of spent or used fuels. The uranium still decaying into harmful subatomic particles, radiations. So after some times, if that neutron or uranium are converted into small particles, still they are very radiative, so it is very dangerous to control them. Improper nuclear waste storage and disposal result in environmental contamination. If you can't store it properly and it will come in the contact with environment, then it will be very harmful for human beings. Further, there is a risk of accidental leakage of nuclear radiation. Yes, for example, if there is no precaution or no safety measures were taken, and if there is small little space in that nuclear reactor, then it may be possible that that radiation will come out and it will do very harmful effect to nearby area surrounding localities. The high cost of installation of a nuclear power plant, high risk of environmental contamination, and limited availability of uranium makes large scale use of nuclear energy prohibitive. Okay, these are the advantages or limitations of this nuclear energy, that nuclear uranium which are used to this nuclear energy, they are available at a very small scale, not good amount of uranium we can get. Then there is very large amount of environmental contamination, high risk. Also the installation of nuclear power plant is very costly. So due to this factor, it is very less used in our country, in fact all over the world. Nuclear energy was first used for destructive purposes before nuclear power stations were designed. The fundamental physics of the fission chain reaction in a nuclear weapon is similar to the physics of a controlled nuclear reactor, but the two types of device are engineered quite differently. Okay, so in standard 10 you don't need to study this nuclear process with in detail, but if you take science in 11 12, then you will study this nuclear fusion and nuclear fission, both the detail. Okay, yes, this process which we study, this process is called nuclear fission. Okay, this fusion is for extra knowledge, you don't need to study. If you want to know this, then I will explain this nuclear fusion in live lectures. Okay, so now let's solve activity 14.7. Discuss in class the question of what is the ultimate source of energy for biomass, wind and ocean thermal of energy. So I think that ultimate source of energy for biomass, wind and ocean thermal energy is sun. The solar energy is the ultimate source of this energy, because without it the food will not produce, and without food this all energy will not be happen. Is geothermal energy and nuclear energy different in this respect? Why? Yes, they both energies are very different, because geothermal energy we obtain from steam generated in regions of hotspots due to the geological changes, whereas nuclear energy is obtained by a process called nuclear fission and nuclear fusion of radioactive substances. Where would you place hydroelectricity and wave energy? So hydroelectricity and wave energy can be placed under renewable energy sources. Okay, now these are few questions. First, what kind of mirror, concave, convex or plane, would be best suited for use in solar cooker and why? So you should choose concave mirror, because solar cooker is a converging mirror. They have to converge large amount of sun rays into the solar cooker. Okay, as you have seen that if this is lens, then there this come, then all this energy should be fall into this focal point. So you have to use concave mirror. Concave mirror like this, you draw lens like this. If they come, then after reflecting they all collect at the same place. Then what are the limitations of energy that can be obtained from oceans? So the location where dam can be built for tidal energy are very limited. The wave energy which we obtain where only strong winds are blowing across the sea, and efficient commercial exploitation of ocean thermal energy is very difficult. What is geothermal energy? So the heat energy which can be exploited from the steam which is trapped in rocks near the hot springs is called geothermal energy. Fourth question, what are the advantages of nuclear energy? It provides very good amount of energy other than conventional sources. For example, nuclear fission of an atom of uranium produces 10 million times the energy produced by the combustion of an atom of carbon coal. And as compared to the space required to harness this hydro energy, thermal energy, etc., compared to these energy sources, very less space is required to harness nuclear energy. But see, there are many limitations or disadvantage or harmful effects or precautions also which we should take while collecting this nuclear energy. So these all energies ultimately have harmful and beneficial both kinds of effect. So according to different factors, we have to choose wisely the good source for our energy. Okay, so I will end this video here, and thank you.